Yeah, and I think that what the brands that we work with appreciate about us is the fact that we do approach it on every client is unique, and we build a plan for that particular client based on the goals that they express to us. But when we approach it as entrepreneurs, as if it was our business, and we sort of guide them and say, I would do this and that, but I can tell you, I can speak in a different way to the CEO in the fact that I've been there and I've done that and I've made those mistakes. I did a presentation to an entrepreneur group a couple of months ago, and I started out and I said, in my lifetime, I've started 10 different businesses, and everybody goes, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And I said, yeah, only 4 have been successful. The other 6 have been, not successful. I got involved in things I shouldn't have got involved in. But you learn from that. Like I told you in the opening, my first business I started when I was 27. I still carry that failure with me because I know what caused the failure. It had nothing to do with the concept. It had nothing to do with the brand or what we were doing. It had everything 100% to do with me. And so, leadership, the ability to separate your vision from actively managing the business to working on the future of the business are 2 entirely different things. So I do think that we're good at that type of part of the business, and people, our clients seem to be happy with us when we do it.
And now the difference is between product-based marketing and service-based marketing. So if I own a service business, let's say I own an air conditioning company or something like that. Now, you don't really mess with service-based business stuff, right? It's mainly product-based.
Our sweet spot is consumer products, but we do have some service-based businesses. But if you're selling a service, you're selling a product, right? You can productize what you're selling. If you're just another plumber, if you're going to go about it and say, I'm a plumber, and I sell, I sell plumbing services. Well, there's 100 guys out there selling plumbing services, and the customer's going to go and look at, what the best price is. Right? If I'm a contractor, they're going to go and say, well, he's just a contractor. So you have to help these guys, even if you're a solopreneur, help them productize their business so that they're selling something different. You're not just selling plumbing services. You're selling your plumbing care solution to the customer. You're selling your air conditioning, the company I use for air conditioning or refrigeration, air conditioning and heat for my house, has done, I think, a phenomenal job of branding themselves as the solution for that. And they sell these service contracts, and they do a really good job of creating this product that can't be replicated by their competitors, right? They do some things a little bit different. So that's, in my opinion, the process, the marketing of it is the same. The only difference is that when you're dealing with service-based businesses, generally you're dealing with a fragmented group of small independent guys, small independent companies, right? But we do software as a service. We have a couple of software brands that we do marketing for. We have a couple of industrial brands that we wound up with just because but again, we turned them into brands. We turned an industrial company that sells concrete and construction. We turned them into a brand, and they're loving it. They've been our client for about 10 years. So in my opinion, everything could be a brand. But the other thing I wanted to tell you was we're very specific about who we work with and how we work. So you were talking about these other marketing agencies that are bad, and I agree with you. We're not a burn and churn type of business. Those guys are. They'll take everybody on. They just want to grow and grow and grow and take in revenue. If in our initial conversations, you can't express to us what your clear point of difference is. And I'm not talking about, we're better quality. Better quality is subjective. You have to be different. And if you can't express why you're different, or if you don't know why you're different, then we can't help you. Now, we might not take you on as a client, but I may take you on as a coaching client to say, let me help you figure out your point of difference. But if you're not open to that and you just think, well, my popcorn is better quality than the other guy, well, how am I going to do anything with that? I can't market that. I can't advertise that. What am I going to say? Well, the popcorn's better quality. Nobody cares. They're just going to buy, the popcorn that they're used to. So you have to have a point of difference for us to hang on to build around. And if you're just a Me Too product, we won't do business with you because you're not going to be happy. We're not going to be happy, and we're never going to get the results. And inevitably, you're not going to be successful because you're going to fight. You're just going to fight on price constantly, right?
Do you find that a lot of people that are in various industries that you work with tend to want to mimic or be a lot like the successful person in that industry? Like if you use Dr. Squatch as an example, and they're a very successful company. They've really grown over the past 10 years. They're everywhere. But somebody has a product very similar to Dr. Squatch. Now they're trying to steal that idea and they want to mimic because that was successful for Dr. Squash.
If they're in this country and they're trying to go after Dr. Squatch with the same product and they're just trying to peel off customers, I won't take them because you're never going to be successful doing it. It's like every year. I remember when, what's his name? Oh God, I can't remember the name of the company even. It was acquired by Walmart, but they were going to show Amazon how to sell online. This was about 10 years ago or so. I can't remember the name of the company now. And they got acquired by Walmart. And every year you hear about how Walmart's going to upend Amazon. It's not going to happen. Amazon has the customer. Everybody's got the app. 92.7% of the population in the United States of the buying public has the app on their phone. And the first place they go when they hear about a new product is they go to Amazon. That's where they go. And they do that for a reason. They trust Amazon, Prime delivery, all those things. So if you came out to me and said, I have an idea for this company and we're going to upend Amazon, I'm going to tell you I'm not going to waste my time because it doesn't work. Now, I will tell you that there is an industry out there of people who copycat businesses in other countries. So in other words, they'll take what works here in the United States. They'll take what works and they'll go and they'll replicate it. So there's a very famous set of brothers in Germany called the Samwer brothers, and they started out. They came to this country in the in the late 90s or mid 90s, and they saw eBay, and they went over to back to Germany, and they set up an eBay clone, and they were in business for I think 5 months. eBay acquired them for like $175 million. And they've since gone on and set up a whole structure of cloning businesses. They cloned Uber, they cloned Pinterest, they cloned. So they've set up this whole business of cloning. And that's a little bit different because they're in a separate country. They're cloning the business. And then the whole intention for them is to clone it, see if it works in Germany and get acquired by the company. Like Uber now says, okay, well, we'll acquire you, right? And they've made they're billionaires over it. They've systematized this. They've been doing it for 25 years. In that case, yeah, I think it's possible. So if you said, okay, and I'm sure there is somebody doing Dr. Squatch in another country, that will probably work. If you came and tried to do it in this country and try and say, that doesn't appeal to me. It's just boring.